This is Red, White, and Bluegrass.
Kentucky may have a part-time legislature, but the work on the next session begins well in advance. This week, lawmakers will begin holding regular committee meetings for the period known as the interim. Both House and Senate members come together in joint meetings to hear presentations on potential policy decisions that are on the horizon. And task forces that lawmakers created also begin meeting. And this year, the newly created task forces Making America Healthy Again Kentucky, Disaster Prevention and Resiliency, and Aviation and Economic Development will also start holding meetings, in addition to the continuing task forces on artificial intelligence and housing. Representative Lehman, I'm going to start here with you. Just your priorities that you may have as we're going into the interim that you plan to be focused on.
Sure, and good. I appreciate that intro, Bodie. I mean, this is my first session, and so when I started my term on January 7th, and we go right into the general session, and it's very hard to catch up. It becomes very clear that a lot of the legislation we're discussing during session has gone through a lot of thoughtful hearings and process during the interim. So this is a very, very important part of the legislative calendar. I think we're going to have some interesting committee meetings, especially with a lot of the changes or anticipated changes coming at the federal level, everything from tariffs to Medicaid cuts and how this affects everyday Kentuckians, Kentucky farmers, Kentucky industries specifically. We have a lot to consider, and so one of the committee, I'm both on the Budget Review Subcommittee for Economic Development as well as the Economic Development and Workforce and Investment committees. And so again, a lot of these impact, especially on the tariff side, what is that going to do for our farm exports, the bourbon industry and other industries that heavily rely on imports and exports. We're going to have a lot of thinking to do about how to support that. So I'm looking forward to getting to work.
Let's bring you in, Representative Gordon, your priorities, and what do you normally take away from a lot of these meetings? Because we're not actually working on specific policy yet, too.
Well, and I think if you want to have a good idea of what we will be doing in the upcoming session, you only need to look at what happens during the interim. So there is a wide variety of topics that are discussed all throughout the various committees, and a lot of times it is a glimpse into upcoming issues that need to be addressed legislatively. Artificial intelligence being one. As the chair of Small Business Information Technology, a lot of that flows through my committee, so that is a particular interest of me, as well as some health care, Medicaid spending, that type of thing. So there'll be a wide variety.
How much budget talks are going to be going on, given that we got another budget session coming up very soon?
I think a lot. Yeah, that's clearly going to be a big part of all of these interim meetings. And again, I just, a lot, especially things, again, Medicaid and how much of the federal government funds our Medicaid program, understanding what's happening at the federal level and how that's going to impact our budget. This is going to be an interesting year, interesting budget session.
You mentioned Medicaid being a big priority for Democrats, for Republicans. Is there any other budget priorities that may be discussed during the interim?
Well, I think healthcare does take up a significant portion of our budget, as well as the jails, criminal justice aspect of it takes up another big chunk of that. So we're always looking at ways to be more efficient and to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse.
So if I'm someone who wants to bring an issue to my lawmakers, particularly during the interim, how would I really go about doing that during this time? And would you even say that this is the time to be bringing issues to lawmakers?
It is absolutely the time to be bringing issues to lawmakers. So we all are having meetings. We can be contacted by phone, by email. Welcome to speak with anyone in person, but we are definitely making that priority list and crafting legislation and or budget issues at this time.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This is the time. Please, I mean, during session, that's when everyone tries to make appointments in Frankfurt. That's very hard. This is the time we have for thoughtfulness, putting some critical thinking skills behind things. We have the time to spend with our constituents. Absolutely. I mean, I love meeting. I'm trying to do several meetings a day, or several meetings a week at least in the district and in Frankfurt as well. So this is definitely the time if people want to reach out.
We got about 30 seconds left here, y'all. Is there any early issues on the horizon? They may not be big priorities of your own, but big issues that you think we'll be talking a lot more about as the year progresses and we go into that next session.
Most of it is, to be honest, going to be budget focused. And you know, the last session is more of a what we call a cleanup session, and that's why we did not open the budget last session. So a lot of it is just preparing for the budget.
Yeah, and again, yeah, the budget. And I think a lot of Medicaid, infrastructure funding, a lot of that looks to be a lot less coming from the federal government than in previous years. So that's something we're going to have to adjust and accommodate and deal with at the state level.
Alrighty, y'all.